Good morning, Pawleys Island. Today is May 10th, 2021, and it's time for your Pawleys Island sunrise and surf report with Dave Clayton. Today's special guest is my sister, Deborah Clayton. She is out here already shell hunting. Good morning, Holly. Good morning to you. The wind is kicking. 10 to 15 mile an hour gusts. Offshore right now, 20 to 25 mile an hour gusts. Not a good day to be on the ocean. And you can see it's churned up. 2 to 3 foot waves. And they're about 6 seconds apart. Good morning, William. We are all early birds now, aren't we? Now that the sun is getting up so early, we are all early birds. Good morning, Deborah. This is my sister, Deborah Clayton.
Hello, good morning.
We'll do this real quick so everybody can meet you.
Oh, good morning. Pawleys peeps.
Alright, I'm gonna turn around.
Okay.
Deborah came from Elliott City, Maryland, and she's a retired investigator. I can't tell you more than that. How many years did you work as an investigator in this country?
27.
That's wonderful. And you've been retired for how many years now?
About, 2?
So I cannot get away with a single lie my entire life because she knew it. She had extreme insight. She's a very wise person. So Debbie, you've done all kinds of investigation, right? From
Yeah.
criminal investigation to NASA investigation, right? What's the most interesting investigatory thing you've done?
I guess it would be the Hubble Space Telescope flaw that we did a civil investigation at NASA of that. So yeah, we interviewed a lot of optical experts and went up to PerkinElmer in Connecticut to see the hardware and to talk to the engineers about how they made the mirror, but they polished it perfectly into the wrong shape. And we got $25 million back.
Wow.
Because they didn't do all of the quality assurance and they did some testing of it, but they didn't share the results with NASA. So they were just hoping that it was going to work, but it didn't work.
And that ended up being the flaw that caused the demise of that
That's right.
telescope. That's a shame.
Yeah, they had to manufacture glasses and take them up there and put them on the Hubble Space Telescope for it to work. Yeah. But that's the most exciting, most interesting. Well, the pink has faded here a little bit.
It does this right before sunrise.
Okay.
It does this a little bit, and part of it is the sun, is the cloud cover too, I'm sure. But sunrise is at 6:18 this morning. I sent it to your phone, Debs.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it, you can.
Oh yeah, so four more minutes.
And then your sunset is at 8:07. Can you see high tide there? Here you go, you can just look at mine.
Yeah, 7:39 is high tide.
And then low tide
Is 1:38 this afternoon.
So that's when a lot of people like to know, so they can walk the beach when it's the biggest
Oh, okay.
and find shells.
Oh, okay.
So that's a real important time, that
Oh, yeah.
1:38. Good morning, Victor.
I mean, look at all these shells I just found. These are really, look at these beautiful shells.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this one.
Cool,
That's
Debs.
just looking in one area.
That's cool. Victor says, good, happy anniversary for Nancy and me. 41
Aw.
years. 41 years, Victor. That's incredible.
Oh.
That is great. Congratulations to you both. Your bride is a saint. Victor will tell you that too. Victor, you're a saint too. I'm kidding. So the water temperature is 71 degrees and the air is about the same. Yes. So Victor retaliates. So we haven't seen the ocean like this in a while. UV today is about, out of 10, it's a 7. And visibility right now is not a 10, but today periodically it's going to be around 10 miles. Debbie's shell hunting. So Debbie, what's Elliott City known for? That's where Debbie lives, Elliott City, Maryland.
I guess it's mills, it's flour mills, it's old, it's a historic town, it's a small little town. It's known for its stone buildings and river that runs through.
And there's one more thing. That's
Crabs,
one. Yes,
crabbies.
blue crabs. I love blue crabs. The most important thing. Well, also for flooding, right? There were
Yeah,
horrible
that's
floods.
right.
There have been horrible floods there.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you have damage, Debs?
I didn't. I'm about a mile from the downtown, the main street, and I didn't have any damage. Even though I'm on the river, I'm up high enough that I wasn't affected. But
Mm-hmm.
the river runs underneath the buildings in the main street, and so all those buildings were just ruined. They still haven't totally fixed what they're going to do. They're going to remove some of the buildings and relocate or redirect the rivers so it won't flood anymore. But are you cold?
The wind is blowing. Let's walk this way, on the other side of the pier, so we can
Okay.
hopefully see a sun. William said there was 53 mile an hour wind gusts yesterday in Louisville.
Oh my gosh. What are these jellyfish things?
Yeah, jelly balls.
Is that what they're called?
They are.
I've never seen them. They have like that little,
Yeah, they're pretty common.
and there's starfish down here.
You did see starfish?
Yeah.
I don't ever remember seeing as many starfish as we've seen here over this last couple months.
Gosh.
But as the water temperature warms up, the jellyfish definitely are more prominent.
What's that fluff ball on the top?
So that fluff ball is called Furby.
Oh.
And Furby, the dogs love that. They go after Furby. But that's what keeps the wind from ruining the sound
Oh, I see. That's a
of
good
the
idea.
microphone.
Yeah.
So you can see the wind's blowing. See the flag?
Oh, yeah.
Southwest wind. Here comes the sun.
Yeah, it does.
When's the last time you saw the sunrise? When you went to the West Coast,
Yeah, but I saw the sunrise. I went to the Outer Banks about 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago. I went with friends for, and I got up one morning for the sunrise. Because I didn't want to. I just normally don't wake up that early. I'm sorry, but I love this.
yep.
I'm gonna take a picture of you, Dave.
Debbie's taking a picture of me. Oh no. You see the foam blowing. So growing up in Pensacola, Florida, as a little guy, I remember my sister taking me to the beach all the time with her boyfriends and her friends. I remember sitting in the back of an El Camino going 50 miles an hour down the road and feeling like I was on a roller coaster. Debs, you remember taking me to the beach
I do.
when I was a little guy?
I do remember that. Yeah.
So Debbie, do you mind telling people how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 66.
So my sister's 66
Yeah.
and I'm about 50. So she was a little mama to me growing up. I mean, we'd go to the beach all the time, Debs.
We would. Yeah. I would take you in the waves.
I remember doing that, and I remember going to softball games, and then I remember being in the back of an El Camino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With me and friends?
With friends,
Oh.
sitting in the back. You know how they had that bed in the back? That was fun.
I don't remember that. Were we at Lake of the Woods? I bet.
No, we were in Pensacola.
Oh, okay. Huh. No, I don't remember that. But you were a little kid at Lake of the Woods too, in the lake, swimming in the lake.
Yes. Do you remember the crazy story about Lake of the Woods? When
No.
I was like 3 years old.
And you got bit by a fish.
I got bit by a fish.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Look how beautiful.
Always listen to your sister. She said, don't pee in the lake. Don't pee in the lake, she said. I said, no, I'm okay. I can do this. Yes.
Is
And
that
then
what caused the fish to die?
yes. Let me just tell you, it was a very traumatizing moment for a little guy.
It didn't keep you out of the water, though. You went right back in.
I know.
Oh, wow.
So today's good news is Proverbs. Debs, you're going to have to read it. There it is.
It's Proverbs 7:4. Love wisdom like a sister. Make insight a beloved member of your family.
What does insight mean, Debs, to you?
It means just your reflections and your, your understanding, your deep understanding of something.
So I happened to look it up.
Oh, uh-huh.
This is what it says right here. This is what the dictionary tells us. Insight. The definition is
The capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or thing. This paper is alive with sympathetic insight into Shakespeare. Synonyms are intuition, perception, awareness, discernment, understanding, and more.
how about that?
Yeah.
So you had to do that a lot in your line of work
Yeah.
as an investigator.
Right. You had to look at things from all different angles and keep gathering, one more piece of information and pull it all together and then keep talking to others about what it meant and then coming to a conclusion, or as best a conclusion as you could come to.
What was the hardest part about being an investigator? For 27 years, you said?
Let me think.
I think I know your answer. You told me once before.
I think it'd be the administration of it all. Like it was fun to interview people and work with others and pull together records. But then you had, and even to write the reports, that was fun. But then you had to administratively manage all of it, put it in a, organize it in a way that you could retrieve it again and that others could retrieve it again. It took a long time.
And there's something else you told me that was really difficult.
Well, you don't want me to get into politics here.
No, not the
but-
politics, not the politics. It had to do with patience. Here comes the sun, y'all.
Oh.
You said one of the things that's the hardest is you just have to do a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
Whether you're sitting in a car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of enjoy that, though, waiting for the right moment. I kind of enjoy that. But sometimes there is a lot of waiting. Yeah.
For me, that would be really tough.
Yeah. I love that because you're rewarded when you're patient. You're rewarded, and so you get your best evidence that way if you just wait and not and keep because everything's changing while you're waiting, so you keep analyzing what's changing and I mean, we trained with. I had to carry a gun at times, and I was happy to leave that. I was happy to have a gun at times when there were a few unsafe situations, but I was happy to leave that profession and not have to train with a gun any longer. It was kind of fun, like a sport for a while, but then it wasn't fun anymore.
The danger.
Yeah, it was a real concern. And with kids, with my kids, it was a concern.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, look at that sun.
I think it's neat that the good news compares insight to a sister.
Oh, yeah.
Because a sister is super special. Especially when you only have one. I have one brother and one sister. And so the fact that Solomon chose to compare insight, or this capacity to gain accurate, deep, intuitive understanding, to a sister, to me is really special.
Right, because a sister doesn't, there are few people that know you as well as a sister does. Yeah.
They changed your diapers when you were little. They watch you throw up. You tell them things too. I remember saying horrible, mean things when I was little.
Really?
Oh yeah, I remember just saying, because you would tell mom things. You'd tell mom on me. You could never say. Debbie has always had an extreme understanding of right and wrong. And so I would ask for favors. I'd say, please don't tell mom. She said, you cannot ask me to do that. You mustn't tell me that.
Was this when you got into your teenage years, or when
No,
you were
I think both. I think both.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, always true to what's right and wrong. A lot of people will use that. If someone says, please don't tell someone, they'll use that to have a special closeness with the other person. They'll say, sure, this is just between us. But you didn't need that. You already knew that we were close, and you weren't about to use that secret in a irreverent way. So you always were true. And there was a circumstance in college that I remember, and this really impacted me in a major way. Tell people about what happened in college real quick, Debs. When you had the ability to cheat, right, in your classroom. Tell people that story, because it really impacted me as a little guy. So Debbie went to Florida State University, right? She's a graduate of Florida State for criminology. And while she was there was a major exam, okay? And this major exam, tell people about it. It was really tough.
I can't remember the class it was, but it was a basic criminology class. It was a really good class. The professor was so good, and I really enjoyed it. And it was a big class. There might have been like 200 people in the class, and my classmates were passing around the test and the test from other semesters, and they were like studying that. They were cheating. But it was such a valuable class. It just hurt me so much that people weren't valuing and wanting to come to class and wanting to learn this subject. So I went to the professor and I asked him for a copy of the previous semester's test, and he said he couldn't give that to me. And I said, well, I can get it from any number of classmates in my sitting next to me. And so he didn't make a big deal of it. He never made any announcement to the class, but instead of handing out a multiple choice test, he handed out a fill in the blank test for people. And So everybody got the message at that point that they were going to have to study.
And these were going to be future investigators, some of these
Yeah,
people. And
police
yeah, police
officers.
officers and things.
Uh-huh.
So what a great, I just remember that.
Aww.
You did that in a wise way too.
Well, Dad used to always tell that story, remember?
I do. He was so proud of you.
Well, I was really shy, so it was hard for me to do that. It was hard for me to go talk to the teacher in his office, but I was happy with the outcome. I was really happy with that. Not that I wanted anybody to be punished, but I just wanted them to enjoy the class and learn the information.
Sure. Let's walk this way a little bit. We're staying on here a little longer because I think the sun's going to come above these clouds right here and be magnificent.
Oh.
And you know it will the minute we sign off.
I've never seen so many starfish in my life. They're all clustered. Look at that.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So since you've retired, Debs, do you have any new hobbies or new things that you enjoy?
Well, before the pandemic, I just decided I was going to try to always be a yes for my friends and family. I wasn't going to have an excuse that I can't do that now because I'm too busy. And so I spend a lot of time with my grandkids, 6 and 4, and visit my kids out on the West Coast and keep in see my closest friends from grade school. And
So talk about that. Tell people where you went to high school.
oh,
This is another really interesting thing about Debbie. This is possibly one of the most interesting things. Debbie, tell people where you went to school.
Well, we grew up in Alexandria, Virginia, so I went to T.C. Williams High School. Remember the Titans? And I was a cheerleader there, and I went there the years that were depicted in the movie. And so it was a really interesting and very impactful and powerful time to live in Alexandria. Yeah, and I'd have to say that race relations have just always been at my core, I would say, because I did have some really good friendships and with people from very diverse backgrounds, and and a lot of respect for the sports players. And
So you being there during the Remember the Titan, just like the movie, right? The same high school. That is it accurate the way the movie is compared to what it was like then, Debbie?
Well, I would say that the whole, in a broad sense, it's accurate. To the detail, it's not accurate. It's maybe 10% accurate, but in the broad sense, it was.
So you were a cheerleader. So you're saying that the cheerleaders that were depicted on there were not as they weren't near as beautiful as you. I get it.
They weren't as bratty as they were depicted in the movie.
Was there truly an example where someone had a car accident? Did that really happen?
Yes.
That was real.
Happened.
Wow.
Yeah, Gary Bertier. Yeah.
So the names were the same?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, and the members from the football team were part of the group that they helped to film, and they helped try to keep it accurate. And yeah.
Did they come to you for accuracy?
No, they didn't. No, but they did include cheerleaders for all of the after parties and for the film debut, and
Wow.
yeah.
So do you still do that? You still, once a year, don't you still get together with people from that time and kind of celebrate Remember the Titans?
It's not as frequent anymore. We had a reunion to celebrate one of the coaches' birthdays a few years ago. And the players still come together. They have a scholarship fund, and they still get together. Of course, during the pandemic, none of that is happening. But it was such a great little neighborhood we grew up in that I still get together with my friends that were in Girl Scouts and Sunday school at church and lived down the street when I was in the 4th grade. So we still get together at least once a month. I go down to Alexandria, or somebody comes up to Maryland.
That's great.
Yeah. And I have to say, we all have the same, we have those shared values that we learned and we lived growing up in that area and going to TC.
Respect for everyone despite whatever they look like.
Exactly. All lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think sort of a lack of fear, like a knowing, people are people. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
More insight from the wise sister. More insights. We are signing out, Debs. Let's turn this around so they can see the sun. It's finally come over those clouds. I get to spend the next couple of days with Debs. I can't wait. So, Debs, you think you'll come back in the morning?
Yeah, I'll be back
join
tomorrow
us?
morning.
Wonderful. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard to match what you shared today.
Oh.
We'll dig deep, y'all.
Maybe we can find something about brothers tomorrow.
There you
tomorrow
go.
Morning. And then we might be out here in the rain.
Little brat brothers. All right. God bless you. God keep you. We're signing out.
Have a good day.
Yes, have an amazing day. May God help you make His choices today and every day. Make the choice not to cheat.
That's right. Don't cheat and,
No.
and love everybody.
Yes, signing out.